Peace and happiness to you all. So listen, if you want to publish books, I'm talking about paperback books with Amazon KDP, right? So this is Amazon KDP. So if you want to use Claude AI to write the entire book and then publish it on Amazon KDP, it is imperative that you watch this video because listen, you're going to have to activate something called skills inside Claude AI, as you can see here, right? Look at this. KDP nonfiction book writer. So this is a skill set inside Claude AI that enables Claude AI to write an entire book from idea to manuscript. As you can see here, this is a book that Claude AI wrote, and then I published it on Amazon, right? As you can see, here's the book. Now, it is imperative that you watch this video from beginning to the end so you don't miss the step, because this step is very important. Now, inside Claude AI, there's something called skills that you're going to have to set up. If you don't set up these skills, then Claude AI is going to try to speculate and it's going to try to guess what you're asking of it or what you're trying to do, right? So activating the skill set is very important, right? Because look at this. This is the skill set. It's called the KDP Nonfiction Book Writer. It's a complete system from writing Amazon KDP compliant nonfiction books and ebooks from idea to publish ready manuscript, handle all book types, workbook, how-to guide, self-help, blah, blah, blah. So basically it's saying this step will enable Claude AI to write the entire book without you having to guess, without you having to add anything. So let me show you how to get here, right? Inside Claude AI, you're gonna have to set up something called skills, right? So here's a skill, you see here? So let me backtrack. So how did we get here, right? So let me start from the beginning. So you see this little toolbox, it's called customize, right? If you click on it, then there's a section that says create new skills. And then when you come here, right, then you're going to have to click here where it's that little plus button here. Then here you can create the skill. Now, if you don't create the skill, you're not going to get compliant ready books that you can publish on Amazon, right? Because remember, Amazon has a requirement, right? Because when you are uploading file on Amazon, you have to meet their requirement. You have to meet their specification. You have to meet all the specs, right? And then let me show you something here. Now, look at this. This is some of their file requirement. I don't think any of you have time to go and read this, right? So you're going to have to go, your file has to be it has to be a certain size, certain margin, right? Certain, specification and all that. So these are all the requirements that you have to meet for your book to be published on Amazon. Now, to bypass all that, you come to Claude AI and just create that skill set, right? So that skill set now, what it does is this. It takes, right, where's that KDP? Let me find it. Now, this video is very important. You got to watch this. Pay attention. Because now, if you're a subject matter expert, you can publish books with Amazon using Claude by just giving it a prompt, right? Hey, create this book on this topic. And because it already has that skill, right? Let me find, where's that skill? Where's that skill, right? Because this is another one, KDP, right? Here, right? Now, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to actually include this about writing books. You need the skill set, right? You need to enable this skill set inside Claude AI, because if you don't, then every time you try to upload a book, Amazon is going to either reject it or block it, right? As you can see here, this is a book that I published a long time ago. It was blocked because they had some copyright issues, and then there was a lot of, right? There was a lot of, a copyright and an inaccuracy in the book. Because why? Because I did not read the file guideline. If you don't read the file guideline in terms of what KDP requires of you, your book is going to get rejected every time, because KDP is very specific in terms of what they want in the file, right? Now, the file is when Claude AI writes the book, right? It will either provide it in doc, in PDF, and in other format, right? And then you go on KDP and then you upload it. If that file does not meet the requirement in terms of margins, right? In terms of, look at this, right? Because there's so many things you have to know, you have to keep in consideration, right? The size, the trim size and all that. So it gets very complicated and it gets very technical, right? Now, I make it look easy because I'm an expert. I do this every day, right? So I make this thing look easy. But if you've never published a book before and you don't have the KDP requirement or compliance, then your book is gonna be rejected. So let me get back to this. Very, very, very important. It's crucial that you watch this video to the end. So how did we get here? Inside Claude, as I said, right? So let me just go here. Let me start from the beginning. You need to first activate the skill set. So you go to create new skill, right? And then here where it says plus, then you can go and create a skill, right? Create with Claude, right? And then you can tell it to write, the Amazon KDP. Now, what I did was I made it easy for you. Inside, because you see, as you can see here, right? Where is it? Let me show you. As you can see here, it's already written. I've already written the skills, right? Because I know, where to source the information from, right? Oh, this is actually another one. There's also another company called Ingram Spark where you can also publish book, but Amazon KDP is the most popular one. So let me stick to that. So as you can see here, right? So here's the skill set. It's a long, right? Like you can see, it's very detailed. This is no joke, right? Very detailed skill set, right? Very, very detailed. So it knows exactly what Amazon requires of me or requires of you every time you publish a book. Very detailed, very meticulous, right? Nothing is being left out. So every time I publish a book, then it's adhering to Amazon's skills. I mean, to the Amazon's requirement and so on. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this skill, right? And I'm also going to give you the prompt too. Academy, it's going to be inside the Academy. As you can see here, this is inside our Academy. So it's going to be inside the Academy. And then all you need to do is just copy and paste that skill and then upload it on Claude. Listen, if you are a subject matter expert, if you've been delaying your progress in terms of publishing a book, this is the best opportunity for you to leverage AI and leverage Amazon KDP, right? Because Claude AI can write a book in less than 10 minutes. 10 minutes, boom, the book is ready. But if you don't give it the right content, context, the right skill, then Claude is gonna try to guess and speculate what you're trying to do, right? So now, hopefully, this video was very clear, right? To write a skill, just go to where it says customize, right? And then create a new skill, right? And then when you create a new skill, right? Because now, there is some skills that are already included, but the book one is not included. So you're going to have to create that skill. You see, you can upload a skill, right? Or write instruction, right? So as you can see here, this is the instruction right here. So what I did, I'm going to copy and paste the entire instruction. If you are a subject matter expert, right? If you know something about something, if you've been working in an industry for a long time and you have the knowledge, the expertise, this is the perfect time for you to start creating books. You don't even have to write anything anymore. You just give it a prompt. You just tell the AI what to create and then boom, it creates it for you. So here's the description, right? Write a structured and format compliant or Ingram Spark, right? So this is another print-on-demand book publisher, right? So this is a very detailed prompt because without the prompt, you're gonna get something very generic, right? So for example, this is without the prompt, right? So this book right here, I also use Claude, but I didn't use the Amazon KDP skill. So this is gonna, if I was to upload this to Amazon, it's going to get rejected because it doesn't meet the specification in terms of the trim size, the file, right? It doesn't meet that, right? But however, look at this one. This one here, I use Claude, right? This is the book. This is the one that I'm showing you, right? I use Claude, right? Because Claude knows exactly what Amazon need, right? What are the requirements, and then boom, uploaded it. There's the book right there, right? There is the book right here because it's already, right? The skill set was already included within Claude. Now, listen, this is very important. Now, the question is, right? Does Amazon KDP accept AI books? Yes, the last video I did, I told you, yes, Amazon KDP accepts AI books. Let me show you something here, right? So if I go, let me pick another book because, right? No, save and continue. No, continue without saving. I just want to show you. I want to show you something. Yes, Amazon accepts. They accept AI AI books, right? You can write an entire book with AI, with Claude, and then just publish it, right? Because I'm going to show you. I talked about it the last video, but I'm just going to show you again so you can see. So I continue without saving, continue. Okay, let's just save and continue, right? So you can see that I'm not BSing you, right? I'm not giving you garbage information. I'm giving you real life information that you can apply. So here, AI, right? Let me show you. You see, manuscript. Upload your manuscript, right? Upload your file from whatever resource or tool that you're using it from. Okay, and then here, AI generated content. Amazon is collecting information about the use of artificial intelligent AI tools in creating content. Did you use AI tools in creating text, images, and or translation in this book? If you say yes, then all you got to do is just give it more detail and say yes. I use some sections with minimum or no editing, some sections with extensive editing, entire work with minimum or no editing, entire work with extensive editing. So you see, so the AI can create the entire book for you, and all you got to do now is just do extensive editing. Now, what do we mean by extensive editing? See, because you're a subject matter expert, you already have knowledge. You already know you already have knowledge about that topic. So when Claude AI writes an entire book, you have to read it through, right? To make sure that the information is accurate, to make sure the flow of the flow of information makes sense. So that's what they mean by extensive editing, right? You actually read it, right? You have read the entire book. You want to read the book. You want to make sure what you're publishing makes sense, right? You want to make sure what you're publishing actually works. So you see, so you can upload an entire book written with AI, with Claude AI. So listen, as I said, if you watch this video to the end, make sure you like and subscribe, because I'm giving you information that this is a game changer information. What I'm telling you, this information here is a game changer, because using Claude AI and then using Amazon KDP to publish your book, this is the fastest and easiest way to publish any book if you're a subject matter expert. Now, subject matter expert, right? I'm not talking about credentials. I'm not talking about your pedigrees or educational, but I'm just talking about, do you know what you're talking about? Can you apply that? Can you transform, or can you convert that information, that raw information, into something tangible, right? Because being an expert is subjective, right? It's subjective. It's not about credentials, not about your degrees. It's about do you know what you're talking about? Do you know what you're doing in that subject, in that topic, in that industry? So that's what I mean by subject matter expert. No, you got to know what you're talking about. You got to know what you're doing in your field, in your endeavor, in your knowledge space, in whatever space that you're in. You got to know what you're talking about. So that's what I mean by being a subject matter expert. So listen, I'm going to end it here. Make sure to like, subscribe, and as I said, I'll leave the link. See you all in the next video. I am out. Peace.